Can have a go. You can fight, can't you? The leg can fight, no doubt about it, but I don't think I think it's going to be quick.
Be like your Eddie Alvarez, your Chad Mendes at that sort of
It's
level.
Mendes, yeah. I'd love that.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking mint getting a fight like that.
Be awesome. It's good money as well. Yeah.
How many nights a week were you out in Ibiza doing season?
I did.
Every night?
I took ecstasy every night. I ain't joking. Every single night.
That's some commitment.
Fucking
That
3.5
I'm
months.
one
It
of them.
gets
That,
rough, doesn't it? A bit? I did a season in Ibiza, mate. It gets fucking
I had one night
rough.
off when I couldn't stop being sick. Apart from that, and I got a bird that night as well.
Did you?
I was being sick. You know?
You with, I'm with it. How you gon' cross the nigga that was rockin' with? I got you lit in the city. I've been multitasking, rapping and being the daddy to my little children. I've been standing on business and spinning until them dizzy. I do all the smack, me never step or help.
Call it like 5 week out, and then I got a cold for a week, so I couldn't train. But yeah, I just started doing keto just to make the weight. I was 78.5 kilos. I got to be 72 kilos.
What did you fight at when you were boxing? What was sort of your weight there in boxing?
Fucking hell, it's a long time ago.
Lighter than that or heavier?
I think my last fight I had pro boxing were 10 stone 10. So what's 72 kilos? Not far off that, really, is it?
Similar weight.
About 11 stone.
11 stone.
Small, that, innit?
Yeah.
You carry a bit of muscle as well, you. So is there going to be a bit of a water cut there? Then you think?
There's going to have to be a...
What do you think to the opponent, Will Cairns?
I think I'll stop him pretty quick, to be honest. He can have a go. He can fight, can't he? The leg can fight, no doubt about it, but I don't think he'll... I think it's going to be quick.
Is that what you're going for then? Big KO?
Well,
We need a big statement.
yeah, I don't want to break my arms though, so I'm going to be steady. I'm just going to pick my shots and just, yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, I'll know when I get in there, you know what I mean? see how it pans out.
How do your hands hold out in fights? Because you see a bit of scarring going on here.
Yeah, I did that in the street. I did that. When you're drunk and that and you're fighting, you just boom. You're not really thinking. You
Just digging them in.
Picking your shots. Yeah, not even looking. There's other people about trying to eat you hitting people.
I asked Bakewell, is from the glove background, obviously you've had your first few scrapes in the street as well. Is there a difference in your training? Do you feel there's going to be is the gloved versus the bare knuckle a different world?
I don't. Well, yeah, it is definitely. But I mean, I've always loved fighting with no gloves on. It's easier to get a knockout. Do you know what I mean? But training wise, no, just train the same.
I know you're a deep thinker. In this BKFC, it's at Leeds. Are you, not that you're looking past Will Cairns, but have you got a bit of a path that you think you're going to go down there and pursue it?
Yeah, now there's somewhat to. It's good. There's some good dough in this bare knuckle, isn't there? And if they offer me some good fights, I'm going to take them. Like, there's some real good people in this BKFC, like some UFC fighters and that, and are out there. Obviously, I won't get that straight away, but just see what they offer me next. If it makes sense.
What's the plan with it? Are you going to be... We always talk about this, me and Josh, like, if you wanted to make a statement, are you going to be hungry, right? You get Will Cairns out way, right, when's my next fight? Or are you going to be, like, sitting back, waiting till your back recovered?
No, I'd like to get straight back in.
That's the way.
I've got an holiday coming up. Like I need to go on a stag do, but I can just go do it round that. Do you know what I mean? I'll stay fit. Other than that, yeah, just get in, fight anyone.
Where did this? I'm going to ask you in pod. Where did this 2-punch nickname come from? Let's dig into that. Tell me the fucking background for that. Let's go. Come on.
Fucking hell, that were like when I was 18. I started going out with these older blokes. You know what I mean? And a couple of them anyway. They were like, they ended up being like good pals. You know what I mean? That's how I started knocking about when I was like 18. But I went out with my cousin, and it's quite hard for me to remember. My cousin and a few of these older lads anyway, and it kicked off. Someone didn't like me. Yeah, someone didn't like me. But I looked like a little kid, and he was a big fucking mush. Anyway, so it's got a bit tasty. It didn't happen. I went to the toilet, came back. And he was talking to my cousin, and I thought, oh, it's all right, beef squashed. And I went up to him, and he put his head against my head, so I've gone, boom, put him out completely, dropped like Twin Towers. Goes down like that. Next minute, boom, it's a fucking rugby team.
All right.
They're all smashing me up, you know what I mean, giving me it. I got booted out, got put back in. I expected no one to be. I thought they'd been booted out, do you know what I mean? As soon as I'm back in, they're at me again. Boom. I've ended up doing this other bloke. I ended up biting a big fucking... He was massive. I ended up biting a big lump out of his face. And anyway, I got nicked, and that's really what it came from.
That's the nickname.
Yeah,
Should be Johnny Two Bite now.
Yeah, well, coppers were calling me Mike Tyson.
You get in trouble? Did you get in trouble for that?
I didn't get in trouble because I was so small. I think when I used to fight all the time, and I was that small. The police had just let me out.
Yeah.
Because the blokes I was fighting, I mean, this bloke were huge. I mean, like 20 stone. Do you know what I mean? So when if I'd gone in court for it, you know what I mean? And he did it. It was bad what I'd done to him, but I was fucking out scared. You know what I mean? I was a little kid, and yeah, fucking,
You're defending yourself, mate. That's what I see.
exactly. Self-defense.
Exactly.
Take us back to. I know you've got a big family. Has boxing always been in the Graham family? Is it something you've been instilled in since being a kid? Is it something you've always done?
My uncle was a decent boxer. Josh's dad, he was a decent boxer. And then my uncle Mick, I think he could have been decent, but he didn't train too. He didn't, a bit like me, really. I didn't train hard enough. And I got into it. We've got a lot of cousins, but it's like fucking, I don't know, you know some of them, don't you? There's a few of us like, and my uncle just rung up, does Johnny want to come boxing? But no, I was shit at sports. They were all really good at sports, my family, and I was just shit. I couldn't kick a football out. And they all went down together, and I just took to it like a duck to water. It wasn't expected. You know what I mean? I want hard. I didn't know what hard. You know what I mean? And yeah.
Now I do.
Do you think that then?
I found out.
With boxing there, then do you think some people have just got that natural ability straight away? Is that what sets people
apart? You
apart?
can't teach toughness, gameness. You can't teach that. You can teach someone to box. The boxers who are really good boxers are hard. Do you know what I mean? It's the
bit of a killer instinct.
Yeah, killer instinct. It's just toughness, durability. You can't teach that. You can teach boxing skill, but you've either got it or you won't.
What did you think to your BK, your bare knuckle experience? Was that out your comfort zone if you're really digging into it? Was it something that you enjoyed? Was it the unknown?
Well, after that Christie podcast, and I said to you, like, because Danny Christie, we had him on, and he were like, oh, fucking, I just love it, just hearing that crack and feeling that bone to bone. And I said to Josh after, like, that was the fucking worst part for me. I didn't really like the fucking hands getting fucked up, and my fight didn't really go that way, did it, really? No.
It's kept him at distance, didn't
he got busted up a bit, but I didn't really take any punches, so I didn't actually get into a bare knuckle boxing match. It is the best way, but I can't really speak on the behalf of people who are fucking digging in deep and getting busted up and smashing pieces out of each other, because that's not how mine went. I expected it to go that way. It just didn't go that way, but I enjoyed it as an experience, but I'm not in a rush to get back into it. Like, the money's all right. The risk factor compared to what you're getting paid is not that good.
It's high risk, innit?
Yeah. Depends how good you are.
By that it means you could just bust your hand up, bad cut, just as...
Yeah, easily get knocked out. Yeah, fucking break your hand. Yeah, anything can happen. You two being fighters there, I always want to try and understand this. Is the build-up sometimes worse than the fight? Or can you get in your own head? Or is that... No, I mean, I don't really get nervous. I do get nervous, but only, you know, I'll get nervous day at a fight. I'm not nervous any day I run up to it. I put it to the back of my mind. And then on the day of the fight, get them little bit of nerves that you need. You know, they just give you that little edge. Other than that, I don't like to think about it too much. I think I play it over in my head, like scenarios over and again. It's just me not getting hit, catching him, just, you know, like that. But other than that, I don't feel any nerves towards it.
I always find after a fight as well, like when I can remember one of my fights, we were on FCC. I think it were their first or second show at MMA, and it was the most nervous I'd ever been for a fight. I was close. I wasn't gonna back out of it, but I was like thinking to myself, like, oh, fuck, I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do it. Then once I got the fight out of the way, I won. I choked him out in first round. I got up and I was like, oh, fuck, get someone else in here. Like, I wanted to fight again. Then all the nerves had gone. I loved the fight. It's just that build-up for me knocked me sick for my first couple of fights. And after my BKB fight, well, in fact, leading up to my BKB fight, I had no nerves on day, really, did I? Right. And then I got me warm-up out way, and I was just zoned in then. And that were another fight. Once I'd finished that one, I felt like going again, because I didn't feel like I'd actually been in a proper fight. I feel like if you let the nerves get too much, it tires you out. It does, doesn't it? You'll be fucked when you get in ring. It's like, what you were saying, froze up and everything before his fights. I've seen a lot of people, because I've been able to go backstage. There's correlation to rugby. There's some boys who operate on nerves, and there's some people who just cool as cucumbers. You just don't seem to be fazed by anything. To me, like, looking at it as a fan, because of the severity of what you're doing, it's like the ultimate competition. You're fighting in front of, you're on TV, you're in front of your friends and family, like... Yeah, there must be no feeling like that you're going out there to compete and fight bare knuckle
against someone else who's trained for X amount of weeks, it must be some fucking rush. That to the walk,
It's a lot of stress in it, whether you address it or not, or whether you let it affect you. It's a lot of stress. The fight camp and then that one day of all that fucking pressure that's on you.
Because like rugby, which
You just got to enjoy it.
yeah, because rugby for me,
Go out there and enjoy it.
they were a team. You're by yourself.
Well, that's it. But that's the thing. Like, so when you're a team, when you lose, it's on all of you. When you win, it's on all of you. But when you're winning a boxing match, I mean, it works both ways. When you're losing a boxing match, it's all on you. But when you win, you get all that love. It's all for you, and you feel it.
Again,
I can't wait to just walk out in front of all them people. There's gonna be a lot of people there.
I know you're big into music. If you don't have to give it away, but have you thought about your walkout yet?
Heat by 50 Cent. Yeah.
are you going to tell them what we've done?
Yeah, we're sort of editing a bit of a walkout for Holmes and make it a bit unique because there's big pressure. There's big pressure on both of those boys now because the winner is getting Lorenzo Hunt, and I think that fight's going to be a big money fight, and it's going to be either.
So who's champion?
So you've got Lorenzo Hunt, who's the BKFC champ, and then Anthony Holmes, who's let me get it right, I think he's the cruiserweight European champion. So
Already in the BKFC.
Already in the BKFC, so
Okay.
he's competing with Danny Christie April 22nd, and the winners, it's been stated now, it's in the contract, I believe, that the fighting Lorenzo, whether it be over here or whether it be in the States.
Is he an American, Lorenzo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's Miami based in here. I don't
He
know.
looks like Mr. T.
Yeah.
How does he?
Yeah, he's very come forward, very aggressive, very athletic, just explosive man.
Right, I'll have a look at him. I haven't watched much of it, to be honest. Any of the BKB. Seen bits in bats.
I wonder if your weight there would be like your Eddie Alvarez, your Chad Mendes at that sort of
It's
level.
Mendes, yeah. I'd love that.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking mint getting a fight like that.
Be awesome. It's good money as well.
Michael Venom Page, what's he fighting at?
Whatever you're into.
75, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, big lad him.
Big, tall, isn't he?
He's
Ranging
really-
kid,
Mike
innit?
Perry put it on him though, didn't he?
Yeah, he smoked him.
I watched
Mike
a bit.
Perry's
I watched a
good.
bit of the build up yesterday with even Luke Rockhold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
track.
is he
That's-
Perry fighting Rockhold?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's week after your fight.
Yeah, seen it. Yeah.
Be good, that.
Yeah.
Talk me through. Are you doing any? I know you're quite a disciplined man. Are you doing any sort of principles, any disciplines like cold water? Obviously you've got your nutrition dialed in. Anything that you're trying in this camp?
No, do you know what? The cold water, I hadn't done that for. I did that not the start of this year, start of last year, and I did it for 6 months. I had something like that about that. I didn't get a fucking warm shower for like 6 months, and I felt good for it. I felt real good, but I hadn't done it. No, to be honest, like I say, I got coughs five week out. I had a cold for the first week. I've been training 2 weeks now. Got a bit of a coffee, like I got a bit of a cold now and all. Fucking.
I mean, that's just
run
run
down.
down.
A lot going about.
Run
in
down a little bit with training.
Yeah, I had a hard session last night. Just getting fit now though. I need to start sparring. It's bad yet.
Have you got anybody lined up, sparring wise?
I'll spar Scott McHugh. Anyone really? Do you know what I mean? I just need to get some rounds in. So I'll probably start that this weekend. Probably, hopefully, get some rounds in.
How important is sparring?
It's for timing and distance and that sort of thing. I mean, like, because I boxed all my life and I'm always keeping myself fit and stuff like that. It's the only thing. It's just that little, just judging your distance. And I'm good at it though. Do you know? I'm not worried about it. I'm not. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm not.
First or second round KO pending, I think.
Yeah, first round.
First
I
would be
think.
nice.
First round.
I think so. We'll just see.
Totally off topic then. What's love life like at Mo?
Johnny's the man. He's fucking. Can I always remember the commentators at BKB picking you up there. You remember that? When we were fucking trying to do them shoot
What, while you're in
laces.
corner?
No, so something had gone wrong with the laces and fucking lot of pressure on Johnny because he had to like be tying them up on live TV and they were like
Camera zoom right up laces, didn't they?
I'd have fucking folded me. I'd have been like, fuck that, do what you said.
Now, what did he say? He says, "Oh,
It's attracting a bit from the ladies.
got attracted a lot of attention from the ladies at that corner, man. When they were doing laces, but no, my love life. Yeah, not right good at minute, to be honest. I'm just concentrating on me. Well, that is good anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Loads of wanking.
Nah, you know.
None.
Nah, I try not to do it. I try to save it.
Save that spirit. It's not meant to be good for all this wanking, mate. I've told you, you've got to stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking hell. Just I go through stages.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't say you've been a Tinder man. Have you been on there?
I mean, I've been on it before, but no, I don't know. I don't message girls and stuff like that. I don't message girls on Instagram and stuff like that. I just fucking, I like to see them in real life. Do you know what I mean? If I see a girl I like, I'll just approach her. But I hate that. I don't like texting either.
What's
I'm
the
worst.
approach there then for someone who's looking for a bit of advice? What's the approach when you you see someone you like, what's the tactic?
Why, you're looking for advice?
No, but there's going to be some boys watching who'll be like, fucking, I suppose it's
different
that for a
everyone,
vast
innit?
amount of population. They won't approach. They just only do it through social media. So, like, what
I
is the
suppose
approach?
now that's what kids are doing out there. They don't know how to approach people. That's all through social media. I couldn't message someone out of blue on social media and, you know, get what I wanted out of it. I know I couldn't. I'm not.
What you want to sort of gauge is that connection
Adapt to
there.
that.
Do I like this person? You sort of feeling that?
I don't know. Just go up to them and just chat to them like I would anyone else. You know what I mean? Just flirt, whatever. Just I don't know. If they don't like me, you know, straight away, and then just move on to the next. Innit?
I'm that type of guy now that I'll see somebody like out in a nightclub, well, I'll know, and rather than going over and talking to him, I'll message him on Insta.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hey, up.
Why is that now?
Look to your right. I'm gonna joke.
I think you do.
I probably do, to be fair.
Probably.
Bring me back. Where do you feel this fighting spirits come from? Do you put it down to any specific events? Has it always been in you? Where does that come from? That killer instinct?
I think you must just be born with it. That's how it felt. I didn't know what though, you know, until I went boxing, and then just realised, fucking hell, you know, I just don't bother me getting it whatsoever. I enjoy it, enjoy the competition. Yeah.
Did you not get into fights leading up to boxing?
Well, I was 11 when I had my first fight. So, not really. I can remember getting beat up on a bouncy castle when I was a kid. Other than that, I've never been beaten.
That might have been the switch.
Apart from boxing, I've been beaten boxing. Well, maybe, yeah.
I got bullied a bit when I was growing up.
Did you?
By my mates, really, wasn't it? Fucking by like people
Well,
like...
I did by my cousins a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like that, yeah.
If you grow up like that probably fucking knocks it into you.
Yeah, maybe so.
So, you started training boxing, and how long into that did you know you wanted to fight?
I had a fight within 6 months. 11-year-old, I went down. An 11-year-old, I had my first fight.
How many fights you have?
33 amateur, spread out over up until being 18. Fought good kids, really good kids. And then I had a few years off. So I jumped out of the ring at 18, went to Ibiza, did a summer in Ibiza. Came back, just partied like I was still in Ibiza for years. Started going to boxercise with Mick Marsden, ended up being my fucking professional coach. I've known Mick years now. He got me back into professional boxing, but I was just doing it for, I don't know, probably for naming that, do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't living the life whatsoever. I would partying all the time, drugs, drink, takeaways, you know what I mean? And I had 5, and I said to him before my 5th fight, I said, if I feel fucked in there, I'm quitting. I said, I'm done. But I was being sick every training session and that, I was fucked. Cause I had really bad acid reflux as well, and I was burping all the time. All this gas was coming up. It was about lager I was drinking. I found out I was intolerant to it, and everything else I was eating and that. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I stepped out of the ring and I thought, I'm not doing this again. Because I was going to go on Sky shows and stuff like that. Do you know, start progressing in my career. But I had no fucking place being a professional boxer at that time in my life, so I just quit.
Is there you regret there with that?
Yeah, because if I lived then like I live now, I could have done something. You know what I mean? I'd have made a name for myself in professional boxing. But yeah, no, I shouldn't have been doing it at the time. Like I say, if I'd lived like I live now, I'd have done all right.
How extreme did the partying get? Sorry.
Yeah, no, go on.
Just a lot
I bet you got
it.
stuck in.
Yeah, just a lot of it, yeah.
How many nights a week were you out in Ibiza doing season?
I did.
Every night?
I took ecstasy every night. I ain't joking. Every single night.
That's some commitment.
Fucking 3.5
I'm
months.
one
It
of them
gets
that,
rough, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I did a season in Ibiza, mate. It gets fucking
I had one night
rough.
off when I couldn't stop being sick. Apart from that, and I got a bird that night as well.
Did you?
Yeah, I was being sick. You know? She like, oh, come on, and took me over, look after me for a little bit. And
Have you got any mad stories from Ibiza? I'll tell you one whilst we're on topic. There's a guy called Josh Strange who I met out there. I met a couple of good lads out there that were all good guys, all like ex-military lads and shit.
Yeah.
And we'd gone to Borough Beach. Have you been there?
Yeah.
And one at Guy's, Samayan, who was seeing this bird, and she was a bit of a boot. She does all OnlyFans and that now.
A bit of a what?
A
Boot?
bit of a boot. And we walked out, we'd been there all day. We walked out and we seen these 3 big lads from Brummie, from Birmingham. And my mate's bird was sat on one of the knees. And my mate's a bit of a pussy. He didn't really say it, but he said to this guy, he goes, oh, you're a snake, and then walks off and just leaves his bird there. So then we start arguing. And we were having a bit of back and forth, and this one kid was like saying something in my face, so I like went, shut the fuck up, like that, made him flinch. And then he goes, oh, come on then, let's fucking have it on beach. And so I like sound, gave me wallet and my phone to these 2 Australian birds who we met out there who we knew. So I said, get round this side then. So we went round the side of this palm tree. We both like having a bit of square off. Both through, he through his right hand, I through my left hand. They kind of tangled each other. None of us caught each other. Then my mate Josh goes, right here, don't do it here. Let's get down to fucking C then. Let's get down to the front. At this time, Carl Harrison were there. I don't know if you're Josh were there, you know.
Did your head kick someone?
Yeah, he had kicked somebody.
Josh were there, told me about it.
Yeah. So they were them three. Then I said to all lads, I said, is there anybody else joining me here? Then I think a couple of people said, yeah, let's do it. So this fucking one kid comes forward, I head kicked him, he fell into the sea. And then his mate went to sucker punch me and I hit him as well and he fell into the sea. So a couple of people like pulling him out and ended up scrapping anyway. And then it split up and I was like, right, fucking where's my phone, where's my wallet? Went up to these girls, were like, phone, wallet. They give me my phone, I was like, wallet. And they're like, oh, you didn't give us your wallet? And I was like, fucking did. It had loads of money in it as well. And I was like, fucking did. Anyway,
Schoolboy of that though.
Very schoolboy. Yeah. Then we ended up running off down beach and I didn't like behind some dustbins for about half an hour, so Guardia didn't get us. And then I bumped into him 2 days later. Oh no, actually, this is a mad story, actually. Let me carry it on. So 2 days later, we decided to have a night in like you just said. And this is a chilled night in for us. And I hope my mum's not watching this, but the boys were like, right, we'll have a chiller tonight. Should we get some acid?
Chiller. Nice chiller.
Like, yeah, let's do that. That's a good chiller. So we had this woman come round who were doing sports massages. And she gave me sports massages out on balcony while there were about 8 or 9 of us in the room were all fucking on acid. So I went first, put this acid thing under my tongue, got a 45-minute massage, stood up, she was like, has it done out to you? And I was like, no, not really, I can't feel it. So I walked in and everyone were like laughing and pissing themselves just like they would if they were stoned. And I'm like, anybody feeling that? And this guy who got on, he's like, nah, I think they were duds, boys, sorry about that. I'm like, oh, fair enough. Then we sat there, then it just started hitting us heavy. Everyone started freaking out, and I had a girlfriend at the time, this Irish bird, and she was texting me at the time, and I was fucked by this point, and she was like, you come and meet me now, come and meet me, but I forgot that I'd argued with her that day, and I just totally forgot. I thought we were going to meet on good terms, so I'm walking down the street, these palm trees are wobbling like this, and fucking pavement's weird. I met her, and then she just started screaming in my face, going, what the fuck do you think you're doing? I'm like, whoa, hold up, like, what's happening here, what's happening here? No. And then she was like, right, let's go stay at mine, and she lived in Bay round the other side, and I was like, this side. And then a load of paranoia just hit me. Then I was like, I can't walk down West End. I had a fight with these lads over there. If they see me on my own, I'm fucked, really. And she was like, going, why? Who have you been cheating on me with? Who do you think we're going to see? I'm like, anyway, long story short, that got out of the way. Still affected me for like 24 hours, that acid. I walked back from hers the next day and I could hear people shouting me and shit and there was nobody else about. And then at night after that, I went onto West End Strip and I fucking bumped into these lads again and I were on my own. So they come over to me, talking to me, and I don't know why, but I had a bottle of champagne in my hand. So I was like there with a bottle of champagne, and these lads come over and went, oh, like, we YouTubed you after we seen that you do fight, and like, fucking can't believe your head kicked me, and it was sound after that. And I'm like, yeah, fair one. And then I went back a year after, and then I just bump into him now every time I see him. But have you got any mad stories? Did you get into any fights over there?
Yeah.
Sweet.
The only time I've ever been dropped, I got dropped in Ibiza.
Never.
And sidewinded, I wasn't looking, I was chatting to someone. My mate was over there. And he'd started some trouble, I think, you know what I mean? He got himself in some trouble, started fighting. I didn't even know we were fighting, I was off my nut. Do you know what I mean? I just had a big bomb of MD. I'm running around just trying to fight somebody, you know what I mean? And anyway, some kid smacked me and run off. Teeth came through my lip a little bit. Anyway, he just got off, he was massive. Run off. So anyway, I'm just stood chatting to these kids. These kids who had seen me get hit. Says, fucking hell, you're a fucking warrior, you, mate. That was right shot you took there. I said, I'm giving it big, and I said, I've never been knocked down in my life. As soon as I said it, boom, this kid's come back. This is like 10 minutes later. I'm just chatting me. You know what I mean? I was off my nut. Boom. I've just gone bang. I come in my face, it didn't sound bang. Or stand in my mouth. I just got straight back up. I was like, oh, go up. Like, I was like, oh, all blood pouring out my teeth. Come through my lip again. I was like, who's on that? Then Guardia turned up. And I'm having to like, the old blood dripping down my front. I'm having to like turn. People saying, turn this way, so I can't see you bleeding. Anyway, so that was that. It got off. Someone knew him. Someone bailed him up. I said I wanted my straightener. Anyway, I've turned up to have a straightener with him. Big 6 foot odd. Didn't want to fight me there. He fucking said to his mate, cut him. Tried to strike me down my front. I'm just I've gone on my own more or less with one kid. Tried to strike me down my front. I've jumped out of the way. This big kid's run at me. And I can't run fast, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a fast runner. I don't do much running. He's run at me and he's gone boom. Tried to stab me. And I thought it got me. Like, it just, how he didn't get me, I just do not know. Boom, I've just jumped out when he just must have just slipped past me. Mental. Anyway, I've run back over to where I was sat before, Fatso's Cafe. Have you been there before?
Yeah, every day.
Fatso's, yeah. Went there and I've picked up one of them little aluminium chairs and I've got two of them trying to stab me and I'm trying to smack them with chair and then blue lights start coming, they run off luckily.
Fatso's is exactly where I was when I was fucking tripping when that bird was griefing me because we were staying in Canyon, which
they
is
do
down.
some good scrans there, don't
Yeah,
they?
they do, yeah. I'm trying to think I've got any other crazy. I've got one mad story where Carl Harrison hit one of our mates by accident. So we were in
By accident,
By
yeah.
no, I don't know what he was even thinking.
Oops.
Yeah, knocked him out and then went, oh, what, were he with us? So we were in a club. These lads were starting. We ended up, there were three of them and about 5 or 6 of us. I think I banged 2 of them and someone else banged another one of them. And then fucking Carl Harrison didn't hit anyone and he just turned at one of his mates who we'd been with all night and just fucking chinned him. This kid stood up and he was like, what the fuck just happened? I didn't even know who'd hit him. And then when he came round a bit, Carl explained to him, sorry mate, I didn't realise. And then this guy was fucked for about 2 hours after that punch. He just kept going to me, I got stuck in though, didn't I? I got stuck in. I got a few of them, didn't I? And I was like, yeah, of course you did, pal. He didn't do fuck all. He was just sat at end and just got knocked stone cold by Carl Harrison. Josh is a character, innit? I didn't actually see him. We were out in Tulum this year with a couple of his boys.
You went there and all,
I was there at the same
at the
time
same
as him.
time, yeah,
but I went to that Taboo Beach Club the day before him, and I messaged him after him like, "Oh, come and meet us." And I'm like, "No, I'm still
He
fucking
gets
rough."
away plenty. He loves it after Christmas, getting away somewhere. Thailand,
He must do some shagging.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Good looking kid, innit? Good looking kid.
Talk to me, change gears a little bit. How's your relationship with cannabis at the minute?
I had 3 months off, and then from New Year, I had last smoke on New Year's Eve, and I had 3 months off to the day when I looked. I thought I'm going to smoke today. I looked at 3 months to the day, and then I've smoked every night apart from one.
It's such an hard habit to kick, innit?
Well, there were another night where I got in bed and then I was still laid up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And I just thought, oh, fuck it, I'm going to have a smoke now. So that's what I did. But I've just been having it on a night now, like last thing. I might have some before I go to the spa, do you know what I mean? I'll go get sauna and that a bit then. And not smoking too much because I did it for years and years. Every fucking day, waking up in the morning, couple of burns. Before I had to go to anywhere, just a couple of burns, do this, just everything I did, I had to be stoned. Whereas now, I like not to be stoned. It's more productive and I just have a nice... you always feel the same if you're just always stoned. It's like, it's nice to get all your shit done. Late on the night, couple of drags or whatever, couple of pipes, and then get your head down. Sleep's been miles better.
What does the weed do for you when you say you're having a couple of puffs before you're doing your day-to-day stuff? Just put you at ease a little bit?
Nah, just make everything a little bit more
enjoyable.
Yeah, it's like less mundane, innit? Fucking yeah.
I've wanted to train on it. You keep telling me to, but I just don't do it.
Oh mate, training on like weight training is your best session if you get it right anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to be too stoned.
If you go a bit too stoned, you think you're gonna die. Everyone's staring at you in gym and your heart's gonna pop.
Everyone's
But if you get it just right, a tiny little bit, just one drag would do you.
We'll see.
Yeah, if you just hit that sweet spot, because you can get it too stoned, you can't actually be ass lifting weights. You know what I mean? But if you get it right, you get right, good mind muscle connection.
Yeah, that's the best part about it.
Have you been playing around with any psychedelic trips? I know you're a bit of experience and all that stuff.
I don't think this year I've had none. I think I used to am at mushrooms. I used to have mushrooms all the fucking time. But I feel like that would just carrying on from... Because I stopped taking drugs and stuff like that years ago. I hadn't really took any bad drugs. But I think I sort of replaced it with mushrooms. And I was just hammering mushrooms, getting
big trips?
off my face.
Big trips?
Yeah, big trips, yeah. Like 5 grams. 5 grams is a nice one, yeah. 5 grams.
What, as in to chill out or as like recreational to just fucking feel like you're not on the planet anymore?
Yeah, just to get absolutely
Escape.
fucked, yeah.
You know, you just said then about you went to Ibiza, did 3.5 months, and then you come home and you stay in that routine. How hard is it to get out of that fucking partying routine once you come back from Ibiza?
I did it for years, man. I did it for fucking years.
Sure.
Even when I had my kids at first, I was partying and that, do you know what I mean? Like, less, obviously. That's what sorted me out, really, having my kids. But it's still hard to get out. It's the friends you want to hang about with as well, isn't it? It's the people you knock about with. They're doing it, you're doing it. So you sort of got to take yourself out of a certain circle. I think a lot of people have got like coke problems and that, but if you're going to be knocking them out with the same kids who are doing coke, you're going to stay doing coke, aren't you? You need to fucking step out, step back. I spend a lot of time on my own. But that's like good for mushrooms. Mushrooms are best on your own. Weed. I love to smoke weed on my own.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Go inside yourself.
I don't know if mushrooms on my own would be a good thing for me.
No.
He probably would.
People can freak me out. If you know,
Can they?
other people. So say like, I like to do them with a girl, me. Do you know what I mean? That's nice. Your girlfriend, that's really nice. But like, if I do it with a load of people, I don't know. If people start getting leery and stuff, it might make me think you're gonna get a bit sketchy.
I agree with that, but I've got this thing in me where I feel like if I do a big hit of mushrooms and I start freaking out a little bit, I won't be able to convince myself it's not real. Whereas if I'm sat with my mates, I know.
You can get talked around, you mean?
Well, it's not even that, because usually whenever I've done mushrooms, I've been a talk arounder.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I did it with twins, 2 lads, Jack and Brad Gill, and both times I've done it with fucking one of them, he freaks out both times, like to the point he's locked himself in my downstairs toilet. And when he comes out, he said he went into the kitchen and he saw my knife board, and he was like thinking, do I need to kill myself here? Because he'd heard me and his brother saying, I just want it to end now. Like, as in this effect, because we've been on it for 4 hours or whatever, I just want it to end now. And Jack's like, thinking that we're saying, it needs to end it.
End, mate. It's always too short for me, mushrooms.
Yeah,
I do prefer mushrooms to LSD, because LSD sort of gives you like a heavy head after, and you can't sleep, and it's quick. But with mushrooms, I always want to last a little bit longer. It's good sometimes if you drink the tea and then halfway through your trip eat the rest of the mushrooms. That sort of prolongs it a little bit.
Talk to me about the trip you did in that white room.
Yeah, the trip in the white room. That was my first proper big trip. I've told you about it before, haven't I? I did that with my girlfriend. Well, I think we took a crazy amount of mushrooms, because the lad who gave me him, I said, give us 5 grams for between 2, so it'd be 2.5 grams. And then when I mentioned it to him after, I could tell that he knew there were more than 5 grams there. Do you know what I mean? And we took them. And I went to go roll a joint, and I just couldn't even roll the joint. And I'd done a little bit smaller amounts of mushrooms before, do you know what I mean? But this was my first big. I couldn't have to put that aside. I laid on, but I'm in this little box room. I was sleeping at my cousin's house at the time. I'd just come back. Anyway, I can't remember where I was sleeping there. We were there for a few months, you know what I mean? I'm laid in this thing, and I'm laid up like this. And it just turned into a fucking villa, like a big, round, beautiful villa. I'm in this tiny little box room, thinking, fucking hell, this is crazy. And then, it obviously 6 hours or something like that, it was just the strongest fucking experience. I think, probably still the strongest. I've had some strong experiences. I've took some, like, 2CI and that. I've took 2CB, like, in large amounts. Fucking hell. I did 2CI at Lovebox Festival in thingy.
What's the 2CI? I've heard it 2CB.
Yeah, it's similar to 2CB, but it lasts longer. I think it might be stronger and all. And someone had given us some, me, my girlfriend at the time, and another lad, we took it. And his mate told us after to give us a double dose. But we're in I was in Lovebox. I'm going off topic. This is a different trip. And I'm tripping that hard, like the things are waving and that. But then you're like, I dug my bird, and I'd like close my eyes, and then I don't know how long I'd be there for. And then I'd come round and look around like that, and there'd be loads of people looking at us. Like, let's go. So I had to fuck off to somewhere else in field, then go have another cuddle.
So what's 2CB then? Is it like what? I've never heard of that.
People say it's a mixture between
is it MDMA and
not cocaine?
Ketamine.
It's meant to be a mix between like acid and ecstasy, but it's more like it's the best sex drug you can have, actually. It makes you feel, your skin feels really nice, and you trip. It's a good drug. It's one of my favourites.
I remember in Ibiza, and I'd been on it for probably...
Have you had that pink in Ibiza?
Yeah, last time I went.
Yeah, that's 2CB.
I tried it. Oh, is that what it is?
It's got 2CB in it.
I tried it once. The only good side, like I couldn't really tell if it did much because I'd already been out partying, but the only one benefit I'd say I'd got from it was I could eat on it.
Yeah, that's
Whereas
good. And you don't get come downs either.
No.
I hate come downs, mate. Like, I don't take ecstasy. I mean, I do like ecstasy, but I don't really take it because it come down. I don't take cocaine. I think it's fucking shit.
I've never really been a big fan of ecstasy. Have you?
You never took it?
Have you not?
Nope.
We used to love it back, when we used to club in when we were kids. That were, ecstasy was a drug of choice.
I think you'd lose your head, wouldn't you?
Yeah, did you dodge the MCAT days, or was that...
No, I had to go on that as well.
I was part of that fraternity.
We haven't turned out that bad to say we've been fucking trying a load of fucking crazy drugs.
That does...
It didn't last long, luckily, that MCAT.
A couple of years.
Some people still do it, but...
Is it still around? I didn't even know it was still around.
Yeah, people still do it, yeah.
Mate, last year before last, when I was with Carl in Ibiza, he were doing it.
It makes you feel good, but it makes you feel bad after.
It stunk. Remember when it used to go into venues like Winter Seam, and you could smell it in the venue, like that. Everybody were on it.
It was rife.
Sweat it out, and you could smell it coming out. Yeah.
And you take that much, it was like one of them drugs that you could just take.
And it was cheap as fuck when it first came out. It was £60 for an ounce.
All right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You could sell that at £10 a bag and all.
Not that you are.
No.
Alleg-
Allegedly, you could sell it at that much. Not that I know.
I always remember my first experience. I got into weed fairly late, like post 30. And I remember my first smoke at yours, and it was always a drug that scared me, cannabis, because it made me overthink, and probably the word is probably paranoid.
Yeah, it can
And
do, yeah.
I think I agree with what you were saying there. I think it's a drug that I like to use by myself. If there's other people there, you can get a little bit, I get a little bit suspect, mate.
It's like practice, though. You know, after a while, you can do everything. Like when I was just doing everything stoned. You know what I mean? Like when I because I didn't smoke for years. I had a really bad whitey in my teenage years. I loved weed, and I had a really bad whitey. And every time I tried to smoke weed up until I'd been about 27, I was having like give me anxiety to do it. And then I started smoking a little bit, and I sort of just like trained myself to smoke again because I did enjoy it. And I can't believe what we're talking about.
I was just saying that it made me sort of like paranoid if I'm around other people. I had to sort of learn myself to just use it.
Yeah. I didn't even smoke this morning either.
That's why you've lost your trail of thought, mate.
Do you just smoke it then? Have you ever vaped it? Do you just think smoking's the best way?
Smoking's the most enjoyable way of doing it.
Have you ever tried? It came out in lockdown. It was like they said it was fucking vape. It was like weed vape juice, but it just tasted fruity. It didn't taste of weed whatsoever, but it still fucked you up.
Yeah,
I've
had a few different vapes. I don't think the vape. You either get a vape and it's proper rocket fuel and it knocks your head off, or you get them and you can just smoke loads of it. But you can't go wrong with a joint the old-fashioned way, can you?
No.
It's the most. I love rolling a joint and everything. I love everything about that. I love rolling a good joint and smoking a good joint.
Have you tried the volcano?
Yeah, I've had a volcano.
You like that?
Before. Yeah, they're good.
But that takes the fun out of rolling a joint, doesn't it? Are you going to get one of them yet? You've been fucking talking about it for the last 6 months.
I don't know. I agree with Johnny. I think the most enjoyable way on
You've never rolled a joint,
No,
so...
but I mean, what I'm saying is my most enjoyable just to have a little... I've tried the vapes and I've tried the volcanoes. I enjoy smoking in a joint. I just think that's the one for me.
We had a smoke at yours before, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when I could smoke shitloads. I mean, you struggled, didn't you? But
Probably.
fucking hell, I was smoking fucking.
Because it's dependent on how many... Like you probably put more weed in the joint than say my missus does, so it's just hard to gauge that. I always think the funny story when you made those brownies for our lass's mates and it's fucked them up, mate. Like I would just like they've definitely dosed them. Those boys will have put a fair amount in there. And they were just eating them and eating and eating them, and that.
We tried not doing it too strong, I think either. But then I even said to my mate, I says these are going to be. I said make sure you warn them, you know what I mean, so they're not whitey. Anyway, they all whited, didn't they?
All whited, and they were just zombies for about 4 or 5 hours, I think. I think it just took a while for them to...
Okay, no. That's horrible as well. There's no worse than a weed white, I don't think.
No, first time... The reason why I tried it when I was about 15, and I had a fucking violent whitey, and I passed out at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon and woke up at 7 o'clock next day, and then since then I didn't smoke it until probably 2 or 3 years ago.
I had the worst whitey when I was a kid, that's what I was just on about before. And... it ruined songs for me and everything. Like, fucking, remember that? Empty Without Me, that fucking...
yeah.
Thingy song, Eminem. That were on it background. You know, when it was on music all the time, I'm there, I'm being sick into this
Freaking
bucket.
you out.
I remember thinking to myself, if I fall asleep, my head was like, I'm falling asleep. I think if I fall asleep, I'm going to die. And this song must have come on about 10 times in the whole time. I'm trying to keep myself awake, and I should have just gone to sleep, do you know what I mean? Ruined that song. I couldn't listen to that song for years.
What causes whiteys?
I don't actually know.
It's probably your body's reaction to having something in your system that it really don't want in, and it just causes you to throw up. But obviously, it's not going to work because it's gone
like
through your lungs.
Overdose, I suppose, isn't it?
It's like
too much.
When you drink too much beer, your body tries getting it out. When you smoke too much weed, your body tries getting it out, but it's in your lungs. It's not in your belly. So
dig into that. You mentioned it there. You know, like cocaine as a drug, it's rife now. I think people now go out, have a few beers, and it's common just to get a beer in a bag. To me, coke's not even that much of a good drug anymore. Why do people spend so much money on it, do you think?
I think the minds have been manipulated by TV and media, you know, like glamorizing it, watching films like Blow and stuff like that.
Great film that with Johnny Depp in it.
Oh, is it good? And everyone's having a good time when they're on coke and stuff like that, but you know, most people aren't having a good time on coke.
No.
But you'd think people would learn after the first time. Well, saying that the first time you have it, yeah, exactly.
The first time's great. It's the more you have it, the worse it gets. But then people, they can't get out of that rut. This is what they're doing with their friends, innit? And like I said before, you know, your friends are doing it, you're doing it. It's hard to get out of it.
And it's a slight imbalance of that good feeling when you have it, that shit feeling when the day after. But then when you feel a bit better, you're like, oh, I could feel even better. But then I feel worse again, and it's like shit fucking
I
routine
just
that
like
people
to
get
feel
stuck
good all the
into.
time now, so I just won't take. I took all that for years. Coke, I done coke for about fucking 8 years, 7 years.
I'm just gonna change that. I'm just gonna change that.
It'll be fine. I think we'll close it off here anyway. Just tell what we'll close off on. Shoot me a fucking good promo here. April 22nd, Johnny Graham, Planet Ice Leeds. What can people expect?
A fast knockout. I'm gonna jump on him, open up.
What I want from you though, I don't just want him to. Will Cairns, he's a tough fighter. I've fought against him before. It's hard to put the guy to sleep. If you flurry him with some punches like Slim did on BKB.
It's timing though.
If you can time a good shot and put him to sleep,
that's
what I
how you
want
knock
to
somebody
see.
out. You've got to time a shot. Like I see a lot of people and they'll get someone at ropes and just throw loads of shots. That's now,
Because they want that stoppage.
Take half a step back, pick a shot, feint a shot, got a body, whatever. You know what I mean? It'll be a classy shot that finishes him.
Good man.
Happy boys?
We'll be shouting for you, my G.
We've got you back, boy.
Let's
go.
You lads.
We're built for struggle. We're built to contend with the world. We're built to contend with reality. You want a challenge, and the best way that you can take on a challenge, because a challenge fortifies you. So you don't want to be secure, you want to be strong. And you get strong by taking on optimal challenges. And so you lay out your destiny in the world, and you take the slings and arrows of fate, and you make yourself stronger while you're doing so. And you might fail, and fortune might do you in, but it's your best bet. And people have extracted unbelievable successes out of catastrophic failures. And I'm not saying that in a naive way. I know perfectly well what happens to people. You're doing fine in life and then you get cancer. And then 6 months later, you're dead. And all the heroism in the world isn't going to save you at that point. But that's not the point. Life is bounded by mortality. But that doesn't mean that you don't get out there and contend. And you develop by contending and you minimize the net amount of suffering in the world. And that's something, man. That's something to do.